Hey everybody, Jason Blaha with Ice Cream Fitness here. I just got an email this morning from one of my subscribers saying that he noticed that in my novice program and in the routines I tend to put out that I don't have people training to failure at all, at least on any sort of regular basis. And he notices the Hodge twins a few days ago did a video on training to failure. And he asked if I could do a video giving my take on the subject. And I'm going to go ahead and do that for you guys. But hold on, let me give you guys a bicep shot first. All right, on to the topic of training to failure. I personally do not train to failure, nor do I advocate training to failure. I completely disagree that it's a useful tool at all. I think it's a completely useless tool, and I think it serves no place in bodybuilding or powerlifting or for strength athletes to ever consistently or intentionally train to failure. And I'm just going to briefly cover my reasons why I say that. First of all, muscle hypertrophy is not induced from a single set. If you're trying to get as much hypertrophy as possible from a given workout for a given set of muscles, it's going to be your total workload and the total time under tension, the weight moved, total fibers recruited over all of the sets done through that session, not from a single set. And what you generally find by training to failure, let's say you're going to do 5 sets, or like me, I tend to do 10 sets of bench press every time I bench. So let's say you're going to do 5 sets of bench press, which is a pretty standard number. If you take the first set to failure, it causes metabolic inroads, it causes problems with your central nervous system on future sets. It reduces your ability to recruit motor units once you hit that limit with your central nervous system, because that's actually what gives out, not your muscles. So by doing that, you reduce your performance, and what you will generally find by going to failure in any of those early sets, what tends to happen is the total number of reps you're going to be able to do with a given weight over all 5 sets is actually going to be reduced. So you're actually going to create slightly less muscle growth generally by training to failure. And remember guys, it's progressive overload that induces muscle growth. And when I write programs, yes, there will be failure that occurs, but that is generally what happens when you need to back the weight down. What I will have guys do who are trying to gain either size or strength, or both, as the two go hand in hand, is I will have them increase overload until they reach a point to where they are hitting failure. And then I will have them back the weight back down and then ramp it back up to the point where they are hitting failure, and then reset it in an undulating system so that they're continually making upward progress. So it's wave loading, and they're not actually training to failure regularly. Training to failure is a sign that you need to back it down. Now, as to actual strength training, there's an old adage in strength training and powerlifting, and that adage is training to failure is training for failure. And again, it goes back to the fact that once you've done a single set to failure, what tends to happen is you shut your central nervous system down. You've shut down your ability to recruit motor units as efficiently. And you don't get stronger by not lifting a weight. You get stronger and you improve the ability to recruit motor units and improve neural efficiency by successfully lifting a very heavy weight many, many times, not by failing to do so. And the set that you hit failure on, as you're getting really close to failure, form tends to break down, bar speed slows down, so you're not actually, even as you're getting really close to failure or as you are reaching failure, you're not actually training the motor pathways anymore that you need to successfully move the bar quickly for explosive strength or speed. And so those actual reps are completely useless, and then they remove your ability to replicate your performance on future sets, so you're actually getting less stimulation. So what you generally find is that people who train to failure regularly gain strength at a much slower rate, or oftentimes they completely stagnate and they don't gain strength at all. So that is my stance on training to failure. It's not something that should be done intentionally. It is something that should happen as a result of progressive overload unintentionally, and it's a sign that it's time to do weight resets and deloads. It's not a sign necessarily of success. It's a sign that you've reached your limits, and it isn't something that you should be trying to do. It is not a useful tool for achieving your goals at all. All right, guys, that's all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you next time.